Hello, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Jaquan Hamilton. This is the Coursera assignment. I'm going to use two plugins in my mix today. One is Flanger and one is Chorus. Very seldomly do I use them for certain projects, more like pop, EDM, anything that's very loud, or anything you want to be kind of sort of subtle slash just something with a lot of vibrato, with a lot of brightness, somewhat type of energy. So I think it's great for that. A lot of pop tracks, dance tracks is very great for that. So in FL today, I'm going to pull up my plugin, FM8, and I'm in my mixer board. So I will go here, pull up my mixer. I have everything on solo mode. Let's take that off. Right click, take everything off. I'm going to put this right here, FM8, the plugin that I'm using, on solo mode, so you can hear that only. But before I do that, let's turn all the tracks on and let's give you a brief understanding of what it sounds like. So that's just a brief understanding of what it sounds like, the audio piece. And with the flanger, I'll show you how I use it. I go here with the arrow pointing downward, replace Fruity Loop flangers right here. You would drop it in, it will come up like this. But the flanger is very powerful. I try not to use it too much as far as the effectiveness is concerned. It can be very overpowering. It's good to add these things with synthesizers and bass guitars and sometimes electronic guitars. But keep in mind, it is a very powerful thing. And in Fruity Loops, the basic FL flanger is very overpowering. So I do suggest use it wisely and use it lightly until you feel comfortable with the area. Now, if you use too much, you'll hear it, and the effect will definitely overpower the example or the reason that you're trying to use the modulation in the first place. So I'm going to go here to my plugin, right click, solo mode. I'm going to turn off the effect of the flanger, all of the effects rather, and I'm going to play it without the flanger. Alright, so it sounds alright, but the flanger kind of gives it a little beef, a little substance. So I'm going to click on this button right here to activate the flanger. And if you turn this all the way to the right, this is your mix level. This determines if you're using 100% of the modulation or effect or 0% if you turn it all the way to the left. So always make sure it's turned to the right. And whenever you want to take a little bit away, maybe use it at 60%, you probably bring it about right there. But we'll get to that in a minute. So here's what it sounds like with a flanger. So it gives a little substance, just a little bit. The settings on here is a preset I use. It's the CE chorus. Actually, that's deep flanger. Let's go to CE chorus. Presets. We can just go to chorus. Actually, I thought it was CE chorus. My apologies. So that preset actually gives it kind of like a heavy piece for like a hook area, or what I would call a hook area. The chorus part of the song, just to beef it up. So I'm going to play everything now with the flanger. I'm going to adjust it a little bit at 60% so you can hear, somewhat of the original instrument. With the settings on here, wet, dry, I leave the inverted feedback on. If you turn it off, it gives you this awkward sound. I leave the inverted wet on. I normally customize the presets that they put in here. It's pretty solid. Wouldn't really mess with them until you really want a different type of flanger sound, but use at your discretion, of course. Next, I want to get to the chorus. For this instrumentation right here, I'll just play this part briefly since I'm running out of time. Then I'll go back and show you how I use it with the chorus effect. Stringy sounds like a violin is actually a Digisphere. It's another plugin that I I believe it's with, let's see, Nexus. That's not too much important. What is important is that adding chorus. Using chorus can really beef up a big part of the song. Almost that separation gives it that feel, that nice thickness to it. Whatever you use. You can use it for a lot of things, pianos, guitars, various instruments. But real quick, same way, I'll pull it up the same way. Chorus is right in front of you. I would try the presets first because I normally don't add chorus to everything. We have a process, low frequency and high frequency. High frequency I actually like for certain synthesizers and plugins. Keeps the highs nice, crisp, and clean. But just watch how you use it, and I would suggest bringing this down to maybe 50 or 60%, the mix level, of course. You don't want it to sound overpowering. The delay, you can add delay in depth in it. The depth really, it's kind of like, it goes very low with low frequencies. Delay, I don't know if you want delay in your chorus, but you can have it. I'm not sure how that would really sound unless you really have a nice little ballad with pianos and keys. Stereo, some degree separation, of course. So in a nutshell, this is how I use chorus and the flanger. Again, always looking for your feedback and critique, but just keep in mind, great things to use, can definitely bring out your track, but use with caution. I cannot stress that enough. Too much is just overpowering. Too little, you don't hear it. So use a balance, use your ear, and trust yourself.